It was just start of quiet evening. The neighborhood was silent, the air crisp with the faint hum of streetlights flickering in the distance. A gentle breeze rustled through the trees, and for most it was just another peaceful night. But inside one particular home, something eerie was happening. Jason had always been a responsible pet owner. His Labrador Buddy wasn't just a dog, he was family. Loyal, affectionate, always by his side. They had their routines, morning walks, lazy afternoons on the couch, and Buddy's favorite bedtime ritual of curling up right next to Jason's bed. It was the kind of bond every pet owner dreams of. But lately, something had changed. Every night, without fail, Buddy disappeared. At first, Jason brushed it off. Maybe he was restless, pacing the house, exploring a dark corner. But then he started noticing things. The back door, sometimes slightly ajar in the morning. Buddy's paws, covered in dirt, as if he had been somewhere he shouldn't have been. Yet, every morning, there he was, sitting on the porch, tail wagging, panting as if nothing had ever happened. Jason was confused. How was he getting out? Determined to solve the mystery, Jason took action. He locked every possible exit. He checked the windows, sealed. The doors, deadbolted. And just to be sure, he even set up security cameras. That night, he fell asleep feeling confident that this time, Buddy wasn't going anywhere. But when the morning came, Buddy was gone. Again, Jason's stomach twisted in knots. He grabbed his phone, rushing to check the security footage. Nothing. No movement, no signs of escape, no sound of doors creaking open, just an empty hallway where Buddy had been. It was like he had vanished into thin air. Jason wasn't one to believe in the supernatural. But this made no sense. The next night, he made a decision. This time, he wouldn't just watch the footage, he would follow Buddy himself. Setting his alarm for midnight, Jason lay in bed, eyes locked on his door, ears straining for the slightest noise. The room was dark, save for the faint glow of his clock. 11:58, 11:59, midnight. Then, he heard it, a faint click of paws against the floor. Jason's heart pounded as he slowly, silently, slipped out of bed. His breath hitched as he followed the shadowy figure of his dog creeping down the hall. His fingers tightened around the flashlight in his hands. Every step felt heavier, every second stretched longer. Buddy moved swiftly like he had done this 100 times before. Jason's pulse raced. Where was he going? As Buddy reached the back door, Jason braced himself. This was it. He was about to uncover the secret behind his dog's vanishing act. But the moment Buddy reached the door, something happened that Jason never could have prepared for. Before we continue, I have to ask, have you ever had a pet that did something so unbelievable you had to see it to believe it? Maybe a dog that seemed to understand your every word? Or a cat that always knew when you needed comfort? Drop your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And trust me, what happens next? It will leave you speechless. So if you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because you won't want to miss what happens next. Michael's heart pounded as he cradled the fragile kitten in his hands. Its fur, once rough and unkempt, now felt warm against his fingertips. The way it looked at him, those deep, knowing eyes, sent a shiver down his spine. This wasn't just a lost kitten. Something about it felt intentional, like it had come for him. But why? He glanced back at the door, where the tiny creature had been scratching just moments ago. The rhythmic tapping still echoed in his mind, like a message trying to break through. The old wooden door creaked in the night breeze, revealing a faint scratch pattern, small, desperate, as if the kitten had been trying for hours. Maybe days. Then, something caught his eye. Just beside the doorstep, partially hidden under fallen leaves, was a small, folded piece of paper. It looked aged, the edges slightly curled from moisture. His fingers trembled as he picked it up, his breath catching in his throat. It was old, too old, as if it had been waiting there far longer than the kitten itself. Slowly, he unfolded the delicate paper. And what he saw changed everything. My dearest Michael. His stomach twisted into knots. This wasn't possible. It was his mother's handwriting. The elegant cursive, the delicate way she formed each letter, it was unmistakable. His eyes darted to the bottom of the page, searching for a date. His breath hitched. It was written exactly 10 years ago. Michael stumbled back, his mind racing. His mother had passed away a decade ago. There was no way, absolutely no way, this letter could have ended up at his doorstep tonight. The kitten meowed softly, rubbing its tiny head against his chest, grounding him in the moment. He clutched the letter, his heart pounding in his ears. What was this? A coincidence? A trick? Or something else? He forced himself to focus, scanning the letter for answers. But before he could process what he was reading, a sharp gust of wind swept through the night, and just like that, the door creaked open. Michael's breath hitched. He hadn't touched it. He hadn't even been near it. The air felt thick, charged with something unseen. The kitten tensed in his arms, its tiny body alert. And in that eerie silence, standing in the dim light of his hallway, he saw a shadow move. What was happening? Who or what was inside his house? Guys, what would you do if you found a mysterious letter from a loved one, written years ago? Would you open it? Let me know in the comments, and if you're feeling the chills, hit that like button, because trust me, this story is only getting crazier. Michael's pulse hammered in his chest. He swallowed hard, his fingers tightening around the letter. The kitten, still nestled against him, let out a low, uncertain meow. His gaze locked on the darkened hallway ahead. The door had creaked open on its own. No breeze strong enough, no movement from him. And yet, there it was, an invitation, or a warning. Taking a slow step forward, he exhaled shakily. His home, his safe space, suddenly felt unfamiliar, almost foreign. Each shadow stretched further than it should have, every sound too loud in the silence. The letter crinkled in his grip. My dearest Michael. The words stared back at him like a whisper from the past, pulling him into memories he wasn't sure he was ready to face. But before he could read more, a faint rustling. His breath hitched, his eyes darted up. There, just past the dim hallway, a movement, a shadow shifting along the wall. He wasn't alone. Michael's chest tightened. Every instinct screamed for him to turn back, to run. But something deeper held him in place, a pull, a gut feeling, like he was meant to see this through. Slowly, he stepped inside, his fingers gripping the doorknob until his knuckles turned white. The hallway light flickered, casting jagged shapes across the walls. And then, he saw it. An old wooden box, placed right in the center of the living room. His brows furrowed. That box, it wasn't there before. He was sure of it. Kneeling, he hesitated before reaching out. The kitten let out a tiny chirp, its wide green eyes locked onto the box. With a slow breath, Michael lifted the lid. And what he found inside sent a chill down his spine. Nestled among yellowed, time-worn letters was something unexpected. A delicate silver locket. His fingers trembled as he picked it up. It was his mother's. He knew this locket. He remembered it hanging around her neck every single day of his childhood. But it had been buried with her. Michael's vision blurred, his mind spun. This was impossible. How is this here? His mother's letter, her locket, a stray kitten that wouldn't stop scratching at his door. Was this fate? A coincidence? Or had something far bigger been set into motion? And then, his blood ran cold. If you were in Michael's shoes, what would you do next? Would you keep searching for answers? Or walk away? Comment below, and if this mystery has you hooked, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Trust me, you'll want to see how this ends. Michael froze. The whisper was so faint, almost impossible to hear, but it was there. His breath caught in his throat. Every muscle in his body screamed at him to turn around, but he couldn't. I'm alone, right? There's no one else here. The kitten's fur bristled. It let out a low, uneasy meow, its tiny body pressing closer to his chest. Then a shift in the air. Not a gust of wind, not a draft. Something else. Slowly, almost painfully, Michael turned his head. His pulse pounded against his skull as his eyes scanned the dimly lit room. Nothing. But then, the letter. It had moved. Michael's throat went dry. It was sitting on the table now, though he was sure he had left it on the floor beside the box. His fingers trembled as he reached for it. The paper felt strange, colder than it should. He swallowed hard and unfolded it. My dearest Michael. The words blurred for a moment. His eyes stung. He forced himself to keep reading. If you are reading this, it means that fate has guided you here. That kitten, it was never just a stray. It was meant to find you. His grip tightened. Internal monologue, confused and desperate. What does that even mean? The letter continued. Inside the locket, you will find the answer to the questions you've been carrying for years. You must open it, Michael. But be warned, the truth changes everything. Michael's breath came in short, sharp bursts. His hands shook as he lifted the delicate silver locket. It was warm, almost as if it had been held just moments ago. Do I really want to know? What if it's something I can't handle? The kitten let out a soft chirp, rubbing its head against his arm, as if urging him forward. Michael clicked open the locket. Inside, a tiny folded note, yellowed with age but still intact. His fingers trembled as he carefully unfolded it. The handwriting was the same as the letter. His mother's. Michael's vision blurred. His heart ached. Michael, my love, if you have found this, then I am always with you. His chest tightened. I kept a secret from you, one that I never had the courage to share. But you deserve to know the truth. You were never alone, my son. You never will be. Follow the signs. The kitten, the locket, they are only the beginning. Michael's fingers clenched around the note. His mind spun, voice breaking. What secret? What does she mean? And then, just as he tried to steady his breath, a shadow flickered across the mirror in the hallway. Not his, someone else's. His blood ran cold. Michael turned, but there was no one there. I am not imagining this, but deep down, he knew this was only the beginning. Michael's heart pounded so hard he swore the whole house could hear it. His breath was shallow, his hands cold, his eyes locked onto the mirror. The shadow, it had been there. He wasn't imagining it, but now? Nothing. I swear I saw something. I know I saw something. The kitten let out a sharp hiss, its little body bristling as it turned toward the hallway. Michael swallowed hard. The hallway light flickered. Once, then, darkness. Michael's pulse hammered. He forced himself to move, his feet slow and heavy as he stepped toward the hallway. The moment he crossed the threshold, bam! The mirror shattered. Glass rained down like frozen tears, shards scattering across the floor. Michael staggered back, his breathing ragged, his chest tightened, his legs felt weak. But his eyes stayed locked on what was beneath the mirror. A hidden compartment, a small wooden box. With trembling hands, Michael knelt down. He ran his fingers over the old wood, dust curling into the air. Is this what she meant? The secret? The truth? He took a deep breath, then lifted the lid. Inside? A birth certificate, a newspaper clipping, a photograph. Michael's vision blurred as he picked up the photo. His mother. Michael's heart pounded so hard he swore the whole house could hear it. His breath was shallow, his hands cold, his eyes locked onto the mirror. The shadow, it had been there. He wasn't imagining it, but now? Nothing. I swear I saw something. I know I saw something. The kitten let out a sharp hiss, its little body bristling as it turned toward the hallway. Michael swallowed hard. The hallway light flickered. Once, then, darkness. Michael's pulse hammered. He forced himself to move, his feet slow and heavy as he stepped toward the hallway. The moment he crossed the threshold, bam! The mirror shattered. Glass rained down like frozen tears, shards scattering across the floor. Michael staggered back, his breathing ragged, his chest tightened, his legs felt weak. But his eyes stayed locked on what was beneath the mirror. A hidden compartment, a small wooden box. With trembling hands, Michael knelt down. He ran his fingers over the old wood, dust curling into the air. Is this what she meant? The secret? The truth? He took a deep breath, then lifted the lid. Inside? A birth certificate, a newspaper clipping, a photograph. Michael's vision blurred as he picked up the photo. His mother.